Can we get some love out here tonight, Johnson? What's going on? We're in the house. 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 We're in the house, people. We're in the house. What's going on? What's happening? Are we okay? Are we okay? I think we're okay. I said, I think so. Yo. Hope that's okay. What's happening, Johnsons? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. What is cracking? Wow, we're right up there. We're right up in there. We're right up in there. Cut the check, Johnsons. Cut the check. Yeah. Cut the check. Cut the carbs. What's going on, people? It's your brother Tim Black. We're here to do another show. Everybody live? Everybody strapped in, ready to go? Yes. We got the Wolfpack in the house. We got the Johnsons on deck. Everybody got their cornbread. Got a fork, a spoon, or a knife, or something. About to get it in. What's up? What's up? Let me make sure, man. You know how things get here. Things get crazy. So, looking good. Go live. We went live. We are live here. We are live here. We are so live here. Is that working? Is that working? I said, is it working, Johnson? We're in the house. I'm in the house. You're in the house. We're in the house together. Okay. Boom. Boom. What's up, David? What's up, Alicia? What's up, Cody? What's up, Katrina? What's up, Lady Jackie? How y'all doing? Maribeth. What's up, Maribeth? Cody, what's up, man? Steve, what's going on? S. John, how you doing? Tyler, what's happening? We doing it. We doing it. We're here. We are here. Wow. Okay. Put this out the way. So it's Tuesday. The phone lines are open. 319-527-6212 is the number that you dial into if you want to get onto the phone lines. I said if you got something you like to say, Johnson. Okay. I got a couple things. I don't have much, to be honest with you. But sometimes the best shows are when we don't have much because we go on spontaneity. We talk about what's ever going on. We talk about what's on our hearts and minds. And somehow that seems to work out just fine. Now, I'm hoping. All right, Marcus. Marcus Farrell and I will be doing a show tomorrow at noon here on this platform. So wherever you are right now, tomorrow, Marcus Farrell and I will be doing this live. What we'll be doing is the first edition of the Chop Tank with Tim Black. My guest is Marcus Farrell from Political Thirst Trap. That's right, those guys. So, yeah, it's going down. Because I think one of the things that's missing in this space, right, is long form, like podcast, video podcast. I know no one's ever invited me on a long form video podcast where we just talk and we go from subject to subject and we just keep it real and we just bounce some, topics. And you get to really get to know Marcus. Now, Marcus is a political animal. You know what I'm saying? He's a beast when it comes to politics. And it's going to be a great conversation with him. He's also a very down-to-earth, real dude. He got an edge on him. You know what I'm saying? That's a real brother. So we're going to have a great conversation. He's got a great sense of humor. And we're going to get into that tomorrow. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. That's right. So it's all love, it's all love, it's all love. It's all love, it's all love, it's all love. All right, so, Twitch, what's up, Twitch? What's up, Twitch? What's going on? All right, so I don't know if Twitch is out there with me, right? I think they are, but I'm not sure. It is the middle of the week. They show up sometimes. Twitch, Twitch pulls up every once in a while. I'm really surprised how Twitch will get down for you. Every once in a while I'll pull up and Twitch it'll be people on Twitch. So what's up, Twitch? What's going on, Twitch? Yeah. My Twitch people in the house, Johnson. Okay, so here we go. Couple things. First of all, the Democrats, they want to fight for your right to vote because they care so much about your right to vote. That's right. They want to fight for your right to vote, Johnson. They are very concerned with your right to vote. Wow. They want to fight for it, Johnson. They're serious. They are seriously fighting for it. Thank you. Thank you, El Kid, San Diego. What's happening? They said they are fighting for your right to vote. They mean it. They're not playing around. This time they're serious. Oh, man. Yeah, they wanna fight for your rights, man. They're seriously invested now. All of a sudden, they want to care. All of a sudden, they care about it. Like, really care about it. I think they care about staying in power. What you think, Johnson? Come on, what do you think? You know, who am I? These are my opinions. What's your opinion? You think they really care about your right to vote? Really? They really care about it? Wow. I think they care about staying in power. But they don't care enough to let somebody win who they don't want to win now. They don't care enough to let India Watson win there in Buffalo. Nah, they don't care enough then. No way. No, they care about who wins. And that person doesn't necessarily have to even be a Democrat. Yeah, man, I don't believe him now. Kamala Harris. Isn't it something how all of a sudden she's getting a lot more focus? All of a sudden she's getting a lot more focus, man. I mean, it was almost for like 9 months. I didn't even know what she was. No one heard from her. And all of a sudden it was like she's a victim of people with rumors and innuendos about her campaign, about her administration not being effective and infighting. That's how they started it off. Like Republicans start off playing the victim. Oh, I'm being attacked. Things are not going so well for me. I'm being attacked. They're attacking me because I'm a woman, because I'm Asian, because I'm a black, because I'm a VP. I'm being attacked. That's always the first thing. I mean, really, guys, she was an afterthought. I almost forgot Kamala Harris was the vice president. She was never in the news. Was she in the news before you start hearing about bad things happening in her administration with drama or something? Had you heard anything? I hadn't heard anything. I'm being 100, Johnson. I hadn't heard a single thing about Kamala Harris for months. It was like she stood in front of the Howard University for a couple minutes, and then she went in the house. Okay, she wanted to be in the house. Here goes Kamala Harris talking about her voting rights.
One year, yes, please do sit. Last week, 1 year after a violent mob breached the United States Capitol, the President of the United States and I spoke from its hallowed halls, and we made clear, we swore to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and we will.
They're going to defend it, Johnson. They're going to defend it, protect and serve the United Corporations of the United States, the donors of the Democratic Party, the military-industrial complex, Big Pharma, big fossil fuels, the rich and the wealthy, the big and the rich, the powerful, old white guys who run the system, The prison industrial complex.
We will fight. We will fight to safeguard our democracy.
We will fight to make sure your ass does what we want you to do. We're so tired of you stupid progressives, you independents, you big mouth Republicans talking that shit. We're really tired, really tired of you disaffected, individual, nondescript, agnostic people having something to say. You don't even vote. You don't like anybody. You're the worst.
We will fight to secure our most fundamental freedom, the freedom to vote.
Hey, our most fundamental freedom is the freedom of freedom. That would be, getting rid of, you two guys, you two. Most fundamental freedom is actually freedom, which is something neither one of you guys, you or Biden, have been in support of your entire careers. You as a cop, him as the guy who crafted and designed the entire ramp up with the three strikes law. Entire prison injustice system. A mass incarceration system, which it stands today, is in large part due to the workings of Joe Biden himself. And then we have you, Attorney General, Mr. Mass Incarcerator herself, had to be sued to let people out of jail who had served their own time. But she says, our biggest freedom, our number one freedom, our primary freedom in America is the right to vote. Folks, this is bullshit. Get me back on the screen, Johnson. I will not subject you to this. I can't subject you to this nonsense. Our number one freedom, our priority freedom, however she put it. Look, guys, our number one freedom is not the right to vote. Our number one freedom is our right to live. Free. Isn't that a number one freedom? Isn't that your number one freedom, Johnson? That's what I get up every day hoping to do. I get up every day and I say, I hope to be free. I hope to be alive. First of all, you want to be alive. That's a big part of waking up every day, is being allowed to do it. A lot easier to do when you can do it indoors, with a roof overhead, warm with a belly, not screaming because you haven't eaten in a couple of days. So it's a couple things we look for, Johnson. A couple things that are before voting. A couple things get in front of that vote thing. Healthcare would be one of those things, because without being able to go to the doctor, without being able to have decent health, there is none of the aforementioned, which is alive. And if you plan on being alive in America, you don't have no money, you don't got no money to put in your pocket, you don't have the ability to shelter yourself, then you don't stand a chance in this capitalistic system. Therefore, cut the check. Therefore, to those who is owed, it needs to be overdue with interest on those reparations. So we got a lot of things that come way before voting. Ladies and gentlemen, half of America doesn't vote. It's not because they don't have ID. It's not because the polling place closed, though that does happen to some people. But there's some people who would not make that effort because they don't believe in our politics. They don't believe there's an option up there on that scoreboard. They don't believe there's anything up there to fight for. There's no incentive to vote because both of the parties suck. And one of the biggest problems I have with doing this show is that I have a number of people that tune into this show who are so bipartisan with their head up their asses. All they see is blue and red. And they fail to recognize that both of these parties have been in power. Both these parties have been in power all this time, and your life sucks, don't it? Well, not totally. That's good things, right? It's good things. Not enough of it. But definitely, the thing that you're fighting for, the thing that you want most, that you care most about, is not your right to vote. This is all propaganda bullshit. The right to vote was written, and it was important because we knew that having the right type of leadership in the White House could determine what kind of life that people had. But But if our right to vote does not determine, does not give us something in the White House, someone in the White House is representative who's actually going to make our lives better, then there's no point in having to vote. Going standing in a line and pressing on a computer screen does not fulfill one's dreams. So all this is about the John Lewis Voting Act and the For the People Act, which, unless we give it to the filibuster, will not pass. And if you really cared about getting rid of this filibuster so that we can have the voting rights amendments upheld that has been severely damaged by our Supreme Court, well, you would have been on that bully pulpit doing your business, doing your job. You would not have gone absent for 9 months. Joe Biden would have spent more of his time fighting for this on the neck of Joe Manchin and Sinema and any other people that get in the way. Instead of telling corny stories that have no ending, that meander, that float around like a balloon, let go by a 2-year-old in the breeze at the park. So, but I don't like it when they talk down to us like we're a bunch of imbeciles, like we're a bunch of morons. Like we can't see through nonsense. We can't see through the BS. Both parties suck, Johnson. I'm not fooled by this. I hope you're not fooled by this. Voting rights matter, but it does not matter if who we put in office does not fight for us. If they're owned by Wall Street, if they're owned by big pharmaceuticals, if you're a black voter trying to get reparations for your people who have been denied constitutional rights in this country, decade after decade after decade after decade after decade after decade after decade, we can't even get a vote on it. We can't even get a study on the vote on it. We can't get a vote on the study on the vote of the study. You want to tell me it matters about who we vote for? It should matter. And look, man, I'm not here to say that Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She was a bad senator too. And a bad attorney general. That's just because of her record. And this speech does not give me any assurance. I don't feel any warm and fuzzies from the speech. But how could I? She's not saying anything. It's well spoken enough, but it doesn't say anything, Johnson. So we get into this thing, if you look at it, there are a lot of people with different opinions about what's right about the voting legislations. The For the People Act has already passed the House, is trying to get it through the Senate. It's going to take being able to deal with the filibuster. All right. So, we open phone lines on this. Anybody wants to talk about it, have at it. I was listening to Kamala Harris talk about some other stuff. The anniversary of 9/11, not anniversary of, the insurrection. Why would I get the insurrection mixed up with 9/11? How could I do that? Totally different events, totally different scenarios. How could I ever get those two things mixed up? I must need sleep. I'm being deprived of sleep. That's what's going on. Something's wrong, man. Better get my vitamin D. Something's happening. What you put in my cereal, Mrs. Black? Well, maybe I got it from this story. Maybe I got it mixed up because I was listening to Kamala Harris.
One year. Yes, please do sit. certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021. What the extremists who roamed these halls targeted
Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and the insurrection. Now look, guys, I said on this show, we should not take the insurrection, the invasion, the riot. We should not take it too lightly. Some shit happened. But some shit did happen. Come on. Something happened. But it didn't happen. There was an invasion, but it wasn't an invasion. The Trumpists went crazy, but they didn't go crazy. See, this is what happens when you got people up there that are not good actors and also disrespectful. It's insulting, guys, for you to compare these things. Yeah, it's very insulting to compare what happened on January 6th to Pearl Harbor. Come on, man. I don't know what you compare it to, but you can't compare it to that, can you? It's the act of war. Act of fucking war, Johnson. You can't compare January 6th to 9/11 when the planes flew into the World Trade Center. Can you? And if you compare these things that are dissimilar as hell, right? Shouldn't you be shunned? Should you ever be taken seriously ever again? Like, should people ever listen to you? You know? No, I mean, it's, you gotta pass somebody the keys and like, you tried to stab me with the keys. No, I'm just handing you the keys. You tried to cut my throat with the keys. You tried to slit my throat. No, I was just handing you the keys. What the hell is wrong with her? We know there's nothing wrong with her. She's simply dishonest. And look, I'm not suggesting, here's the part that needs to be said because people trip out. I'm not suggesting that the Republicans would do the same goddamn thing. They would do the same thing and they would do a worse job at it. They would do more of it and it would be worse. So come on, that's what I don't like. That's why my job's so hard. That's why this job's so fucking hard, man. Because the Republicans that watch this show are delusional. The conservatives that watch my show, who watch hate, they're delusional enough to think it'd be different if Trump was in office. Or it'd be different if it was Bush or Mitt Romney. Like, they actually think one of those guys will take the high road and not make a bigger deal out of something than it is and forego trying to score political points. Well, that's exactly what both parties do all the fucking time. So they complain when the Democrats do things that are dishonest, disloyal, and punk-made. But then when their party does it, they're fine with it. And the same thing goes with the Democrats. So when you're trying to be Tim Black and call it straight and stand for realness, it's a real problem. That's why no one can really do it. Because everyone gets butthurt on the truth. No one wants to hear the truth. No one wants to fucking hear their party sucks. And if you are at the very same time that you're talking about Kamala Harris, if you're talking about Trump, or Mitch McConnell, or Ted Cruz, or Marco Rubio, or Bobart, or Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you're at the same second, the same scintilla of a second, talking about the other side of the coin, they call you dishonest, divisive, or some other bullshit. So it is what it is. Kiss my white ass, my black ass, my Latino ass, and my Asian ass. And don't forget my Native American ass too. There I go, I forgot something. I left something out, oh my God. His, hers, she, his, they, I. You get something wrong and somebody's pissed off. What Kamala Harris is doing is disrespectful as it's low down dirty, it's cruddy, it's disrespectful, it's annoying, it makes people never want to vote. And it's the exact thing, the exact same thing a Republican will be doing in office. They would have been doing a lot more of it. Oh, they would be leaning further into patriotism. It would have been so disgusting, just, oh God. We got these damn conservatives acting as if. Acting as if it would have been different. Jesus Christ. I can't get him to start talking about fucking OJ. 30 fucking years, I'm still hearing them talk about OJ. Whenever somebody white does something, they bring up OJ. 30 years. They don't even pick a new story. Well, that time OJ got away with something. Hold on, let me pull something out of my ass. OJ, yeah, remember OJ? It wasn't saying that when OJ got away with it. So it's just a bunch of hypocrites, man. A big, long line of hypocrites, gaslighters. You got to mention it. You know, I don't want to mention it. It's boring as fuck. Who wants to mention every time I have to go around the circle, around the bend, and bring up all of this shit? But both parties would do the same thing, man. They were operating from the same playbook. Here's the thing. Even in the position that we're in, guys, progressive folks, independent folks, people that just want the world to be a little bit better, want their lives a little bit better, don't really give a shit about the jersey, about the name tag. We want something better, but they're not going to let us have it, are they? We got to keep fighting for it because we're alive. We got kids. We have skin in the game. We have skin in the game. But this is so disgusting, man. It's horrible. It's rotten shit. It's totally rotten. You guys heard about the fire in the Bronx? A Bronx apartment fire kills 19, including 9 children. You hear about this? More people are concerned about this story than are concerned about fucking January 6th. Maybe because January 6th already happened. It turns out now, I was hearing talk that this may have been caused by children playing with the stove or whatever, but turns out a malfunctioning space heater sparked a fire that filled a high-rise Bronx apartment building with thick smoke Sunday morning, killing 19 people, including 9 of those children. 9. I want you to see how big this building is. This threw me, Johnson. This threw me right here.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates.
That's the building. I have no idea how many people lived in that building. But that was a bigger building than I was expecting. It's a humongous building. Multiple children were seen being given oxygen after they were carried out. Evacuees had faces covered in soot. Firefighters found victims on every floor, many in cardiac and respiratory arrest. Some residents said they initially ignored whirling smoke alarms because false alarms were so common in the 120-unit building. It's an older building, built in the 1970s. More than 6 people were hurt and 13 were hospitalized in critical condition. Most of the victims had severe smoke inhalation, and all those who perished, died of smoke inhalation. Horrible, Johnson. Horrible, 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 horrible. The children were 16 years or younger. Very sad story. When I put this video out, I'll be sure to provide a link to where you can assist. Because there's got to be something that we could do. It's horrible stuff, John. It's horrible stuff. Our hearts and minds, our hearts, thoughts, God to the families. All right. You guys don't open up phone lines for a while, talk. What say you? What say you, Johnson? What we got? What we got? Anybody in my comment section? What's going on, guys? Anybody in the super chats? Let me see. Let's see what we got, Johnson. Did I miss it? Did I miss the comments, Johnson? Looks like I did. Oh, Toolbox Evolution. Madam Cringe. Cringe-tastic. That's a good name. I like that. Cringe-tastic. Pelosi and McConnell are the top 3 most hated politicians of all time, Johnson. Most hated politicians. Pelosi and McConnell. Yes, they are. Very, 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 very hated. Extremely hated, they're so. Elk Kid, San Diego. You must be the most righteous, honest man on the internet. Keep it up, Tim, not the cut the check. Keep it up. I will keep it up, Johnson. Got no other way to do it. Got to keep it up, Johnson. We do our best, don't we? We do our best. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night. All right. It is what it is. That's all I really got, Johnson. Let's see what 719 has. 719? 719, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black, John Masters out of Colorado. I'm listening to everything you're saying. So the space heater thing, that kind of reminds me of the triangle shirtwaist fire. Space heater killing 26 people. Did you see that guy who burst into flames when they tased him? He had alcohol. He had hand sanitizer. Apparently, he rubbed hand sanitizer on him. They tased him, and then he burst into flames, and then they took off. I'm not sure if you caught that.
Yes.
You were talking about Kamala Harris on January 6th. Actually, I want to mention Ahmaud Arbery, the McMichaels. Man, let's take a moment to smell the roses. The McMichaels got convicted, and they're going to spend their lives in jail because they're murderers. So that's, hallelujah, right? Party in the USA, the McMichaels got life. The mother's speech on Ahmaud Arbery, I don't know if you watched her speech, but that's some courage right there. That's amazing courage. That's some Emmett Till mother courage right there. And she said she got some justice for him. So this is looking pretty good this year. I mean, right now we got Kim Potter's convicted, Derek Chauvin's convicted, now the McMichaels. I mean, can we say that the criminal justice system is fixed? I don't know if we can go that far, but it does seem like, we're getting the right verdicts out of our jury system. And I don't know if you came, well, let's take a moment to enjoy that. Okay. James Williams, I don't know if you heard about this guy. He's shooting a gun on New Year's, and it's an AK or something. He's, in his patio, and he's in his backyard just shooting it up into the air. Well, a police officer assumed when, I guess a black man shoots a gun in the air for New Year's, that's somehow, they shot and killed him. They shot and killed him right through the damn, right through the fence. So there was some body camera there. I don't know if you saw that. That was in Ohio. That was Canton, Ohio. So that kind of pissed me off. January 6th, last but not least, January 6th. Kind of weird. It is dumb. It is dumb that all these dumb, I guess, white supremacists was able to get so close to overthrowing our nation's capital. How dumb that it almost worked. Not only is it dumb, but it almost works. So it's like even dumber than dumb. January 6th, I fear the images, the symbols of January 6th. It could turn into a fascist 26th of July. 26th of July is what, encouraged the Cuban Revolution. They tried to take over the army barracks and they lost, but they used that as a rallying cry, like a remember the Alamo kind of thing. So when I think of January 6th, I think that could be a fascist 26th of July. So, and then the Confederate flag flying in the Capitol, they didn't even do that during the Civil War. So I feel like, my God, we're, America, I don't know, we're slipping. We're letting the Confederate flag wave around in the Capitol. There is some historical comparisons I want to sort of compare and contrast with January 6th. There is a Coxey's Army, there is a Million Man March, and then there was Martin Luther King's Poor People's Campaign. So just to kind of throw some other, symbolic sort of protest movements. There was also the British. The British burnt down the damn White House in the War of 1812. So there's some other, I guess, historical things to compare it to. Yeah, let's see here. QAnon, that QAnon shaman, he almost took over our capital. AOC, she was terrified. They were trying to hang Pence and Pelosi. So all of our, nation's politicians. So, yeah, I think it's crazy that this stupid sort of, Donald Trump sycophant sort of protest insurrection, whatever the hell it was. I think it's, it's terrible that it came close, but it is kind of dumb, but it also is symbolic, the pictures and the stuff. I think they could try to turn that around. So anyways, those are my comments, Tim Black. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Jesus. Thanks. Thanks. I don't even know where to start here. That was so much that you brought up, man. It's I did see where the guy got burst into flames. Well, he was set on fire. That's what happens. Like if you're a cop and you don't know that hand sanitizer or alcohol is flammable, I don't know about you. Like real talk. Like if you're a cop and you don't have that type of training that you know a person covered in a flammable liquid is flammable, Then they set him on fire and they left the room. And I thought they were going to go get something and come back and help the guy. No, they just left the room, hoping he'd burn out while they were gone. They came back with nothing, Johnson. They came back with nothing in their hands. They just came back and just looked at him. They didn't render. I didn't see aid being rendered to him. I don't see much of a difference between that and I don't know, killers. They shot him out of Arbery and they just looked at him and walked away. They turned their backs and walked away on him. Like, I don't know what possesses a person to cover themselves in hand sanitizer. There's a reason why he did it. Maybe that's because he thought he wouldn't get tased if he did that. I don't know. But maybe he didn't realize he was working with complete idiots who would tase him. I don't know. He did not appear to be somebody who wanted to be on fire. I know that, like, back in the Vietnam era, I remember there'd be, like, monks who put themselves on fire. They did so for good reasons, though, right? Wasn't it part of a religious thing? Well, not since then have I seen people set themselves on fire on purpose unless they were, mentally deranged. This guy did not appear to be very happy with being on fire. So if it was an accident, no one took their jacket off, their coat off, their shirt off, and tried to put him out. No one grabbed anything. No one tried to put him out. I don't know what you can do. You talked about so much here. James Williams. What's his name? You said there was a man in Ohio who shot a gun on New Year's. Black man shoots a gun on New Year's. Cops shoot him. He's celebrating now. Now, Ohio. This is the thing about Ohio. And I don't think a lot of people notice about Ohio. It's got great rolling, like, fields. It's a great sports state. And it's also racist as shit. It's the same place where they shot Tamir Rice for having a toy in a park. And if they thought it was a real gun, they say they look old enough to be a grown man. So it's a grown man in the park with a gun in a state where you can open carry, right? You can have a gun in Ohio. No one said he shot anyone. He said he had a gun and he showed it. It was a toy gun. They didn't give him a chance to put down a toy. They shot him. If you say you know he's a kid, then you're shooting kids with guns who have shotguns. So that's weird. No calls about shots fired. And you show up and you see a person with a gun and you kill him. They said it looks so realistic. So we got that. Then we had John Crawford in a Walmart with the gun that was sold in the Walmart. Someone said, I saw the guy with a gun in the Walmart in the gun section where you're supposed to be with guns. He hadn't shot the gun. They show up and shoot and kill him. This all happens in Ohio. How many more things got to happen in Ohio? Then we have this. This guy in his own property shooting a gun like many people do on New Year's. And I have to believe, on New Year's in Ohio, there must have been a lot of guns going off. I know in Maryland, there were a lot of guns going off here. And you can't open carry in Maryland. So I'm just deducing that Ohio is very racist. I'm sure white guys have been shot by cops too. It's funny how we don't hear about those stories though. But I'm sure they exist. We gotta hunt for them. Hunt for those stories. So anyway, man, I want to thank you for the phone call, man. It's a lot there, a lot to look at, a lot to listen to. You know, I do want to make a comment about the January 6th. Because, like, once again, guys, I'm on the record saying I don't want to take it too lightly with January 6th, but I don't want to take it too heavy either. Yeah, like, I don't like being manipulated. I don't like them using it as if World War III was barely abated. Like, we had some morons in the Capitol who didn't know their strength. You know, like, it felt like kids. And I know these are grown-ass people. Look, bear with me, guys. Bear with me here. I know these are grown-ass people who should be held accountable for what they do. But I can't help but feel like it was a bunch of fucking idiots who did a prank and had no plan for when it succeeded. You know, like a bunch of goofy teenagers got together like, hey man, let's break into the library. Let's break into the teacher's office. Yeah, let's do it. They got, they get a case of red, white, and blue or Pabst Blue Ribbon or something. And they they decide to break into the school. Or they get into the principal's office. That's it. They break into the school, they get in the principal's office, and they have no idea once they get in. First of all, they never imagined they'd actually get into the principal's office. And then they get into the principal's office, and they have no idea. Now, maybe they thought they'd changed their grades or something. But you can't tell me people are risking going to jail for a long time, Johnson. Jail is not fun. You mean to tell me people are willing to go to jail to smoke weed in Nancy Pelosi's office? Sounds to me like this is not a coup. Now, I know I've had people on the show, and I know I've said, let's not take it too lightly. Let's not take it too lightly. All I'm saying, guys, let's not take it too heavy either. Let's not feed into the bullshit, because I don't think it deserves. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing that happened. It's like Chris Rock. Chris Rock said something years ago about Tupac and Biggie. We love Tupac, we love Biggie Smalls. But some people had Tupac and Biggie on their wall next to MLK and Malcolm X. And though we love Tupac and Biggie, they have no business being on the wall next to Biggie and Malcolm X, because those Biggie and Tupac were great rappers and we love them. They did a lot for music. Both icons in the hip-hop industry, okay? Great lyrics, part of my childhood, part of my growing up. That's my era. All eyes on me. Let me lace your lyrical bushes in your bushes. You book moves and make moves with all the mommies. I'm back at the club, singing more wetters where you find me. I'm back on my crib's behind me. Man, people asking, blunts passing, music blasting, and I just can't quit with. Only got to stick with. And why blow up my spot? Cause you both got hot. I got more Mac than Craig than in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the greedy. I love that. I love Biggie and Tupac. But they have no business being on the wall next to MLK and Malcolm X. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. were assassinated. Biggie and Tupac, those N-words got shot. I got a point. The point is, January 6th is bad. But it does not deserve to be with Pearl Harbor, 9/11. It's some Animal House shit. It's some old school. Remember old school with Will Ferrell? We're streaking. I mean, it's worse than that, but it's less than. It's less. All I'm saying is, I'm not going to feed into that. Like, I would not allow Republicans to don't allow the Republicans to make a Black Lives Matter rally the end of civilization. Because that's what they try to do all the fucking time. Oh, it was carnage. What happened? Someone busted a couple windows. Someone lit a dumpster on fire. A dumpster, Johnson. Jesus Christ, you have no respect for people's property. Okay? But let's not act like, come on, let's not act like it's the end of the world. Look, I won't allow them to do it. I won't allow it to happen without me pushing back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I won't allow it to happen. Cut the shit, Johnson. So they want to make sure, they want to make this a horrible event. And once again, guys, I understand. The Republicans will use it too. And you know what? I would tell them to shut the fuck up too. I would tell them to go to hell. I would say Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, shove it up your ass. That's what I would tell them. BLM did not destroy America. It's like people who watch my content and say, Tim Black is dividing America. That's stupid because I'm just covering topics that happen in America. Like they'll say me covering George Floyd is divisive. They don't look at what Derek Chauvin did as divisive. They won't say, hey, Derek Chauvin and the whole fucking Minneapolis Police Department who covered up what Derek Chauvin did. They won't call that divisive. They'll call a black commentator with 140,000 subscribers and minus that. They'll call him, but they'll say that person's destroying America. That person's divisive. They won't look at the cops who actually did the crime as divisive. So we say this a lot. What I'm saying is, I'm not trying to make it about me. What I'm saying is, they do this all the time with anything. They do it, everything, over-exaggerate. And it just stinks of hypocrisy. It's just such bullshit. And it's insulting the real people. It's insulting the people that have common sense. These people, there are people who ruin their lives who went in the Capitol, who basically ruined their life. Look, I'm not saying they deserve leniency. I'm not saying that. There are kids all over the country who've done dumb shit. I covered a story back in 2015, 2014 of a kid at a football game in a prank, took his clothes off and ran across the football field. How many people were with me back in 2014, 2015? Everybody didn't show up last week. Everybody didn't show up in 2019. Talk about their progressive. Like, some of us have been here since 2013. I've been here since 2013. 2014 and 2015, one of those years, there was a kid at a football game who took his clothes off and ran across the field. It was a prank. They convicted him as a sex offender because he took his clothes off as a prank and ran across the field. Something he'd seen on movies. But no one told him that you could get charged as a sex offender for being naked in front of children that were in the stands. He committed suicide 2 or 3 months later. His life was ruined. They did not go easy on him. They didn't say, oh, he's a kid. It's a prank. He watched Old School. He loves Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell did it. No, they hit his ass with the maximum. He was a white kid. And he killed himself. So I'm not saying that these people who went in the Capitol deserve leniency. I'm not saying that at all. Maybe I am saying, what I'm saying is, we should see that there's a difference between things, even if our fucked up laws don't. And we should see when people are gaslighting us with bullshit. That's all I'm saying. We should be able, because we're thinking people. We are not our government. We are people that think. And I don't think I politically have much in common with the people that ran up in the Capitol on the riot or invasion or whatever you want to call it. But that does not change the fact that I'm reasonable and I say, well, you know what? They just look like a bunch of dummies that know what they were doing and got themselves in over their heads. And now they're fucked. One guy got 5 years. 5 years is a long time to be in jail for something stupid where you didn't even have a plan. And and I'm okay with that. There are kids who get caught with weed who in a state that now has weed legal that are still in jail over fucking weed. So look, I'm not riding for the people who are in jail. What I'm saying is I don't like Biden or Nancy Pelosi or Kamala Harris or any other Democrat using this as if it's, as political capital. If you want to win my vote, if you want to show me that you're about it when it comes to the black vote, do something for black people. Giving Cody 62 months for smearing his feces on the walls of the Capitol doesn't do shit for my pocket. It doesn't end redlining. It doesn't change the wealth gap. Get what I'm saying? And all the other issues that I have. It doesn't fix my schools. It doesn't clean my water. It's a lot of shit it doesn't do. So the Democrats, they want me to be happy and say, oh, we got him. We got him, Johnson. Woo! We punched him back. We stood up for America. We saved America from the tyranny of the Republicans, of the Trumpers. Fuck that, man. Seriously, fuck that. You got them good. Let's get back. Let's focus, because they just want us to talk about that. Because they want people like me to be able to be distracted from real shit that I want them to do. Do I think they should be able to break into the Capitol and smear their feces on the walls? No, I don't think they should be able to do that. That's not cool shit, okay? They probably shouldn't do that. You probably shouldn't get away with that either. You should, But I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't think it rises to the level of overthrowing the government. They were trying to delay the count, which is against the law like a motherfucker. I get that, I get it. But are we going to be tools for the fucking Nancy Pelosi's and the Chuck Schumers of the world to pretend that they give a fuck about us? And be able to point over and prosecuting some dickhead from South Carolina who took a bus up here to take a selfie in a rotunda or some shit? Come on, man. They're going to hang their hat on that, act like they did something? And then when I say I want something for my vote, they say, we just gave you something. We had to stop these asshole Trumpers. We would do something for you, blackies, but and you poor bastards who are flooded with opiates, or you poor bastards with bad water, raw sewage coming out of the ground there in Alabama, lead paint, lead water, lead in the ass, people struggling all over the country. We would do something, but man, we're so tied up, man. We had so much to do with stopping that insurrection. So that's my thing. I don't like the bullshit. And that's what it feels like. So we can keep two things in our heads at the same time, which is, hey, this is not cool what happened, but also maintain in our heads not to be somebody's fucking tool, not to be used, not to be distracted. Have some level of some barometer, some measurement of how bad shit is that we're focusing on. So we can't be gaslighted into oblivion on some shit they want us to be worried about. Meanwhile, when I say, hey, motherfucker, de-incarcerate, de-escalate, stop spending so much money on fucking bombs, all right? You act like you can't hear me, though. Act like all of a sudden now, no one hearing. No talkie. No habla inglés, motherfucker. No, you hear us. Poquito. Poquito pendejo. They hear us, bruh. You know what I'm saying, bruh? They hear us. Essays, they hear us. Nah, Kamala hears us. They all hear us. So, are y'all with me on this? Y'all feel what I'm putting down? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? That makes sense? I don't know. Now people up here talking about Biggie and Pop. Biggie had the most Biggie. Boom, 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 boom. I like blasphemy. How long will you mourn me? I mean, Tupac had some great shit too, man. Me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend. They definitely hear all of us, but choose to ignore us, says Keith Weston. And they do. Shogun, what's happening, Shogun? Yes. In 1971, someone detonated a bomb in the Capitol? Woo! Bigger deal. Hey, I consider what they did to Fred Hampton. I consider what they did to Fred Hampton. I consider what they did in Philadelphia when they blew up those buildings, blew up that building with the black civil rights activists. I consider Waco bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense to y'all? Y'all feel what I'm saying? All right. Let me jump to a couple more calls, man. A couple more people came through. Maybe I inspired a couple phone calls. Let me get my 954 number. 954. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Buenos noches, amigo.
What's up, my brother? De nada.
It's Mark in Miami.
What's up, Mark? Talk to me.
I hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
I'm loving the fire tonight. Loving the fire tonight, Tim. You know what? You are absolutely right. Those are just useful fucking idiots to distract us, to distract the white audience, to distract us all. But let's be real. The Trumplicans did have a plot to steal the elector count. We know that. That has come out. And those useful idiots that were attacking the Capitol, and the media's parading them in front of us, and let's face it, they're light sentences. Like you say, they're getting lighter sentences than, pot smokers in states or counties that have pot laws. But as for the divisive, uniting thing that you were talking about, how they're trying to paint you as divisive, no fucking way, man. No fucking way. You're uniting us. You're uniting people. You're speaking some truth. And let's face it, if you remember your biography of Malcolm X, remember they went to the police station to get their boy out of the police station? I don't know if anyone's read this book. I know that. And the police chief, when Malcolm's squad, when he snapped his fingers and they were satisfied that a doctor had seen their man, and Malcolm snapped his fingers and pointed his fingers, and they all in line, the brothers, the fruit of Islam, marched together, lockstep, united. And the police chief said, no black man should ever have that much power. And that's when they start denigrating you, my friend, this is what they are saying. That is exactly what they are saying. Now, remember, Brother Huey, if anyone's read his book, and I highly recommend it. Last time I talked to you, I asked everyone, please get the book by Huey Newton called To Die for the People. This is our discussion. It's just as salient today as it was yesterday. And understand what Malcolm and Huey had figured out. It's the economics that disempower us that's important. And this January 6th bullshit is to distract us from the lack of action in the proper distribution, the more fair distribution of economics. And, of course, let's start with cutting the damn check, Johnson. That's where it starts. And my final point is, when you're talking about, and when people use or you hear this word capitalism, think exploitation, because that's where we are, brother. That's where we are right now. And remember that the words of our mentors in the struggle, they are just as valid today as they were then, because the shit hasn't changed. It's a different day, but we're still in the same pool of shit. And we need to unite together. And that's why I'm standing here and with you and with the wolf pack, because this is where we need to go. We can't be dividing up each other. Yeah, exactly, brother. Cut the damn check. And I'll leave it at that. I know you have other callers and you're busy, but you're on fire tonight, brother. Keep going, man. I love you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Good enough for my caller, man. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And, Huey P. Newton, To Die for the People. Huey P. Newton's To Die for the People, Johnson. That's the book. I'm going to pick that book up. Of course, I read Malcolm X, man. I cut my teeth on that when I was coming up. I was a kid, man. But I have not read Huey P. Newton's book, so I'm gonna put that on my to-do list, man. I will definitely do that, brother, because it sounds like something we need to take to that we need to break down, that we need to discuss on the show. And frankly, guys, we got so much to cover. We really have so much to cover. I got so many reading assignments, but I'm going to make the time, brother. I'm going to cut in. I'm going to carve in time. It's like you have to. It's got to be a part of my itinerary. I think about this as well, man. I think about it. But back to. Let me not get sidetracked. So I like the fact that my caller understands where I'm coming from. I'm not saying these things are small, that there should not be a price to pay. Smoking weed should not be a crime anyway. So, how can I say this? I just don't like when they use it against us. Like, hey, we could be doing other things, but we're so busy. They're going to hang their hat on this as if they did something. And it's true. Useful it is. But there was a goal in mind, and that goal was to stop the certification of an election. Even though their part was just to be unknowns to them, to be useful idiots. That's the whole point of it, right? They don't know this, that they're being used, and that they will be hung out to dry. But my thing is, they're not going after the people that commandeered this, who led this. Those are people I want. And those are people like Trump. Those people who knew what was going on. Those are the people that we want. Those are the people that we want to be held most accountable for it. And unless that's what our conversation is, then I don't really want to hear about it. That's all I'm saying. Unless we're talking about the major, it's like I would not care. Don't tell me about the kid that sold the weed on the corner. Tell me about the guy that pushed the weed, or the guy that, let's go to the top. And I don't want to use weed because I think that should be legal. That kid's doing a public service. But there are things that should not be illegal, and there are things that should be illegal. And breaking into the Capitol is illegal. Trying to stop an election is illegal. I don't want to compare apples to oranges, or apples to razor blades. But we're here together. We're here together. We get where we're going. We understand the point. We understand the point. And my point is that we can't sit back and allow this to get us off our circle. We got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. And I don't like the fact that Kamala Harris is so ineffective. Because it's like, I do not have a fetish for giving her a hard time every time she talks. But damn it, she's just so bad at it. She's just so bad at it, I can't help but critique her every time she comes out. And it'd be a negative critique. I can't help it. Her and Biden are the horrible duo. Clinton and Gore were much better at avoiding, I don't know, at being so transparently bad. I mean, I was much younger. I was busy. Young family, you know? Had so much going on. I was a young father. Trying to keep roof over head, trying to learn a career, trying to find my way in the world with my wife, me and Mrs. Black. We were trying to do the thing. But I just don't remember them being this bad. I guess I didn't pay attention. I guess that's what most people don't pay attention to politics. You know? I remember when Obama was, running, it just seemed more interesting. It was exciting the first time. But if I really would have been into politics at the time, I would have realized he wasn't talking about any policies. I mean, he talked a little about, I was out there on them streets of Chicago. I was out there in the streets. You were on the board of Walmart. Then what did he do? Go right in and help the board of Walmart. It's like he sold his soul before he got in the door. I'm not even convinced he had a soul to begin with. But it's always very tricky when you are critiquing the first black president, the first black anything, Because, okay, it's harder. It's more difficult. Like I'm obviously aware of discrimination. I'm obviously aware of the difficult terrain that you have to navigate if you're a black person in a professional field. I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm not just talking about video content. I'm not just talking about being a political analyst. I'm not just talking about being a writer, because I've done all those things. But I'm also talking about in Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies. I'm talking about in the world itself. So, I'm cognizant of that. But I can't let that be the whole story of what happened with Obama. I can't let it just be, he's a black guy, so... Remember I got into a conversation with Ari Spears, a comedian. Because he defended Obama on everything. And all he kept saying was, Obama was the first black. What do you want? He's the first black guy. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? More, motherfucker, more. That's what I want. Stop kissing ass. And if you're going to kiss his ass, stop being so loud about it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. We went back and forth about it a couple times on Instagram. It's like, baby, but man, I stand up for him. I stand up for him because I know what he's dealing with. He's a black man. He's trying to deal with this and deal with that. And I think we should, and what we want. And brothers got to support brothers. And hey, come on, man. This guy is the president. He don't need your defense. President of the United States. Most powerful man in the universe. He needs your ass to tell me how hard a road he had. We talking about the same guy? President of the Harvard Law Review? That guy? That's the guy we're talking about? Darling of the DNC? Really? That guy? That's the guy that had such a hard road? So like, they keep, just... And it's like they use whatever perceived vulnerability to camouflage you and detract or distract, deflect any type of criticism, even warranted, very reasonable criticism like, hey, Obama, what's up with all the people that lost their homes? You bailing out Wall Street, you ain't bailing out Main Street. A very basic, reasonable critique. See, there are people that believe that if you are black and if you criticize black people, that you're an asshole. But I would think I should hold them to a higher standard, not a lesser standard. So it's almost like why elect black people if when you elect them, you keep telling me I can't hold them accountable. Then when I go to try to hold Biden accountable, you tell me he used to work for Obama. So whatever it is, it's always going to be some line of deflecting that's going to occur. It's going to come down to why we can't ask for shit, why we can't demand our shit. Our shit. This is our country. I've been paying into it for a long time. Fuck you. I got 30 years worth of FICA payments, motherfucker. A lot of payments. I paid a lot of taxes over the years. Go to hell with your, how dare you tell me what to do? The hell out of here. I'm going to go to 312. 312. Check my board here. 312. 312, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Tony D. I wanted to thank you for a few things. Before I watched your show, I didn't know anything about reparations. I didn't know what it was. But you laid out all the evidence for why it's sorely needed, and now I view that as the most obvious thing in the world. And secondly, your coverage last year of the Derek Chauvin trial was award-worthy. I don't know if they give out awards for content online, but you should win an award for that. I could tell that it was taking a toll on your mental health. And that got me interested in the trial. And that was incredible coverage. And also, I usually don't have someone to hang out with on New Year's Eve. And so, thank you for making me feel welcome and on New Year's Eve. It was awesome to spend time with you in the Wolfpack. And
yes, sir.
On a different story, I saw this video yesterday from Jen Perlman on her show Dylan Change. She revealed that years ago, when she ran for Congress against President Schultz, Jimmy Dore was supporting Tim Canova, but never said anything about Jen Perlman running against President Schultz. What kind of guy does that? How do you not mention that? So that's another story that just makes me hate Jimmy Dore now. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, Tim.
It's all good, brother.
I love the show.
Well, thank you, Tony. Give it up for Tony, man. There we go. Give it up for Tony. Well, Tony, I hope, how many people we got listening? I want people to hear this. This is important, Tony. I'm glad you called in, Tony. We got 100, 150 people. Okay. This is important. I want everybody to spread the word on this. Now, I hope that you're going to spread the word on this because I think it's important. I want everyone to know, in retrospect, I wish I initially would have supported forced to vote. Okay? I fucked up. I should have supported forced to vote. And then it got personal because I let my feelings about candidates that I supported, such as Nina Turner, get in the way of other relationships. I fucked up. I do have disagreements with certain people about certain policies, about certain moves, maneuvers, interviews, ideologies. Okay? But I handled it very badly. I fucked up. Policy over party, but that includes MPP. People over party, that includes MPP. When I started exposing that MPP for what it was, they stayed with it. I should have handled my grievances with the people I knew behind the scenes because I had access to them. So, Breonna Joy Taylor, Jimmy Dore, I should have spoke to them. Do I disagree with Daryl Davis, whatever his name is, or the Klan Whisperer? Yes. I still do. Do I still disagree with the Boogaloo Boys and all this bullshit? Yes, I still do. But it's the way you handle shit. It's the way I handled these things that was not good. So, it's 2022. We own our shit. We own our mistakes. Those are mistakes that I made in 2021. I can't say I want to blame it on things. There are some things. I lost my dad. I was pissed. I was angry. I was hurt. I was depressed. I didn't feel that my coverage of George Floyd and Derek Chauvin was given any respect. I felt that I earned a certain level of respect in the left, in progressive media, as I covered black issues faithfully, committedly for several years, and I felt my colleagues were not respecting that. But the way I acted about it was not helpful. It was unhelpful. So anyway, so I don't have anything bad to say. I don't want to comment on commenters anymore. Commentators, let's just save it for the politicians. Let's save it for the Kamala Harrises and the Mitch McConnells and the Joe Bidens and the people in power. Let's save it for those people. And I have no more comment on other people. Other commentators doing what they need to do on their programs or with their audiences or with the nuances of their own beliefs. That's on them. So these are things I could have done better. Tell a friend. Someone wrote me today. Someone wrote me early this morning, and they said, Tim, I wish you would apologize for some of the shit you've done in the past because we need to unite you guys. And I'm like, I don't feel that way. But I said, I'll think about it. But I still feel the way I feel about the Boogaloo Boys and about MPP not having a black agenda and the way I feel about reparations and the way I still feel that way. But that does not mean I handled it right. It does not mean I did. You can still feel that way, but it's the way that you go about doing shit. And so I don't think I handled it appropriately. I didn't handle it in a way that I feel good about it. So I apologize for that. Because it's a way to treat people, and I didn't treat people very well. I didn't treat my colleagues the way that I feel good. I don't feel good about it. And there'll be people that say, this is weak to say this. Well, you know, some of these people I've known some of these people for 8 years, 5 years. You've known me 2 minutes. And some of you I don't know. So you feel like I don't that I should say this. It makes me weak. I don't know if you can say that. Because you don't really know these people. I I don't think everyone's evil because I disagree with them. Get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to keep going on with it. Let's just say I should have handled it better. I hope to do better in the future. You know what I'm saying? And I was fucking wrong and I fucked up. And it is what it is. And that doesn't mean people have to forgive it and people have to let it go, because that's up to them. Yeah, when you go after people, you go at people or whatever, they're under no obligation to feel differently, to change their tune because you did. Like, if they are upset about it, they have every right to be. There are people that wronged me that I have to decide if I want to let that go. It's up to me to decide that. If they apologize tomorrow, it would still be up to me, because I'm the one who was insulted. So there it is. But I'm only bringing it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but Tony calling up makes me thinking about it. And I want 2022 to be better than 2021. And it's not starting off much better. I know my man called up, John called up, Masterson called up and said, we got a couple of convictions. Kim Potter, they're in Brooklyn Center, right outside of Minnesota. We got Derek Chauvin. Now we got the McMichaels. This is good until into 2021 and into 2022. And those are drops in the bucket, but we would like to keep the party going. So, okay, let's keep the party going. So we want a better 2022. So let a friend know. Let them know that, we disagree. That's it. Doesn't mean someone's the devil and they are a horrible racist. And they're a white supremacist and they need to go to hell. I don't think I've ever said, but I sort of implied it. I took it too personal, but I really felt, I want people to know, as abrasive as I was on these issues, I really believed, and I still believe, that black people deserve something for their vote. I thought I had more power to make that happen. I thought I had more power to kind of like push the issue, to force the issue. It is what it is. Would I have done a better job of pushing the issues if I would have worked with people as opposed to calling people out? See, it's always about how do you go about using your position. Get what I'm saying? Okay. So in hindsight, you always could say, maybe I should have went another way. But yeah, once again, back to the Democrats, man, I'm not saying, when I criticize Democrats, I'm not saying that the Republicans are better. People just default because of our shitty system makes them think, obviously, that it must be these people are better. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Different does not mean better. Getting chopped with an axe and getting stabbed with a sword are both pretty bad. Now we can sit back and we can play the game of over-under. We can over-under it all day, like come up what's worse, which you would rather have, but how about a back rub instead? Then how about a massage? How about we just walk away? How about no swords, no knives, no axe? How about that? Oh, that's not even on the board, huh? So, now look, tomorrow, my guest is Marcus Farrell from Political Thirst Trap, Political Clickbaiting, Political Thirst Trap. Those guys, and Marcus will be here. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk for a good amount of time, chop it up on the Chop Tank Show, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm pumped up about it. I think we need that. And I want to make that a regular thing, at least once a week. I'm bringing in a guest, talking for an extended period of time, not unlike some other people do, and just getting to really dig into some issues and really talk some good shit. So I'm looking forward to that, man. And I love you guys. As always, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Cut the check. Thank you, people that support this show. Thank you, Sign of the Times. Thank you, everyone who donates on Patreon. JoinTimBlack.com is where you go. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black at Night on Instagram. Proud member of the Wolfpack, Will, Chuck F. Tim work with Trump supporters to get reparations. Much bigger audience than Trump at least has talked to Q. Maybe I will. I'm not opposed to talking to Trump supporters. But it's the ones that don't even want to acknowledge. Don't even want to acknowledge these issues that I have a problem with. I tell you, man, I just felt that I wanted my life to be about something. I felt this was an issue that I would never feel ashamed of. I would never feel I was being selfish, fighting for black people to get something for their vote. Because it's I believe it's something to take pride in. I think it's a wholesome act. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in it. I still believe in it, Will. Chuck, I still believe in it. All right, Johnsons. That's it. That's all I got. I appreciate you guys staying up so long. It's 1 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. I see you on the next one. Thank you, Tony. Cut the check. Defund the police. And raise the wages to help working class people. Always, Johnson. Always. Wolfpack. Peace. Thank you, Silly Boo. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our change, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.